I'm here at Holyhead port in the UK. I'm heading to Dublin today. I'm actually heading home for Christmas and I'm bringing my little dog Pumba with me. We're going to get a ferry. We're going on the Stena line ferry today. We've got ourselves a pet cabin and I'm actually very much looking forward to the sailing. It looks like we have some calm seas. I checked the forecast and Pumba actually really likes to travel, so he gets just as excited as I do, and he'll be even more excited when we get home to the family and our family dogs as well. Now we've just come outside to the area right outside the terminal itself, just so Pumba can have a little sniff, do his bathroom business and we're just waiting for the ferry boarding process. We still have about an hour and 45 minutes until our ferry's due to depart. I think they normally start boarding about sort of an hour to 45 minutes before, so plenty of time to chill. There is a little shop and stuff here, so might go in and have a look, see if we can get some snacks for the journey. So the ferry terminal is to our left over here and the train terminal is to the right, so they're actually connected, which is super handy. I came in on an Avanti West Coast train all the way in from London. I'm gonna head back inside the terminal now. We can have a little look at what we've got. There isn't much going on, but you know, it's kind of got the essentials. So there is a check-in point, or I guess a service point for Stena Line and Irish ferries. You can see they're both closed now, and that is because there are two ferries about to set off, one for each. And so I guess if you need any assistance, you just need to go to the check-in desk. But look, we've got some Halloween Christmas decorations. I don't know where that came from. Halloween. And then there is a little kind of tuck shop, like it has sandwiches, drinks, a few little snacks. I actually just popped in and got a meal deal, and they also were offering out free little mini mince pies, which is so cute. There is a ticket point for the train station, a Hertz car rental stand, and then just a few vending machines around, as well as some seating. Now they do board early, like I said, so actually our ferry still is a good hour and 20 minutes away, but looks like they're getting ready to board us now. So I've always chosen to go with Stena Line when I get the ferry across, and that's just because I've been happier with where I can bring Pumba. So previously I used to have him on a passenger deck kennel on the Stena Line Estrid ship. More recently, they actually brought in pet cabins, which is a total game changer for me. Now I can actually just pay a bit extra and have Pumba in a little cabin with me, which you'll get to see very shortly. As far as I'm aware, Irish Ferries does not offer this service, and actually I don't even think they have a passenger deck kennel option. When I looked at it before, it was down in the cargo deck, which just isn't as nice. You can take your dog on also, I think, in a bag, but I'm not sure then where they get to stay on the ship. We're actually going to go and board now and get on and see our pet cabin. We're on the Stena Line Adventurer today. So we're going to check in at the desk here, and then we actually go through security, where I can also drop off my large suitcase. We have made it into our pet cabin. I don't know if I mentioned, but I am in a 4-berth cabin, which essentially means 4 beds. I'm actually not sure what berth means, but it means that there's 4 beds in the room. So let me show you and we can have a look around. Pumba is already getting very excited and checking out the room for himself. So on the right hand side here, as you can see, there is a desk. Now that's where the tea and coffee making facilities are. It's actually so nice to be able to just boil the kettle and have a little cup of tea. I'm definitely going to do that. And they also give you a couple of biscuits and a bottle of water, which is, again, just really handy too. There is a socket here, so there's 2 plugs and 2 USB-A slots as well. Coming on into the cabin itself, you can see there is a bed here, and then above that is the bunk bed. You can pull that down. Obviously I won't be needing that, so I'm going to leave that up. And then there is the 2 ladders here for the 2 bunk beds on either side. But the duvet is really nice. Like, it's definitely handy if you really fancy having a little nap. I think that's a little night light there, although I don't see the switch for it actually. And then we have our TV. Oh, this might be the little night light switches here. This one's upside down. Don't know what happened there. And we've got a little TV, a nice big mirror there as well. And it's obviously another desk too with a chair. And then we have our second bed here. And then the other bunk bed up there as well. I'm not actually sure what that is up there, but that also seems to have a switch. Don't know if that's maybe a little night light for the bed. It probably is, because there's one on the other side over here as well. So, you know, like, it is pretty basic, but it's actually just so nice. It's so nice to have your personal space, have a bit of comfort, have a nap if, you know, it's been a stressful travel day. And also then if you want it, you can go in and freshen up in the bathroom. So let's have a little look in the bathroom. Again, super basic, but it's always been nice and clean when I've come in. So little bathroom, little sink there, shower curtain, and a little shower. I've never actually used the shower before, but I've definitely come in and like just used the sink and stuff and freshened up, which is really nice. And again, you know, it's a small little space, but it does the job. Over by the door then, they have a little slot for your key. It is just a paper key, but you can put it in there for safekeeping. Little temperature, what do you call it, thermometer? No, what are these called? Thermostat, that's what it's called. I've just popped it down to cooler because I've had a day of warm trains and everything just being overheated. What is it about trains that, like, as soon as it gets cold outside, they just crank the heat up super high, and then everyone's just melting on the train because we're all like, we've all got our jackets and we're commuting and everything. So yeah, it was quite a warm journey here, to put it mildly. But luckily then on the Avanti West Coast train, they did actually turn it down for us because everybody was like shedding layers and just getting super hot. The current time is 2:10. This ferry isn't actually set to leave till 2:45. Pumba's curious back there. But they do tend to get people on board quite early from experience, and they probably will actually set sail early if they are fully boarded. I think the close for passengers is 40 minutes before departure, and the close for vehicles is 30 minutes. So a very smooth journey from arrival at the terminal. Now, I did actually have a bit more of a tumultuous start to the day. Rewind to last night when I got a message saying that my train to Holyhead was cancelled. This has happened to me on 3 out of 4 of my times traveling from London Euston to Holyhead. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm just jinxed or if they really are that bad at cancelling trains, because I mean, it's just a really bad ratio. 3 out of 4 is 75%. I've had experience where the train has been cancelled the morning of, and then I've had to get Avanti West Coast transfer to Transport for Wales, which are just like, you know, they're older trains. They're not really made for like the big long distance that you're doing from London all the way to Holyhead. They're not just the comfort trains, you know what I mean, with assigned seats and everything. More of like a commuter train. And then I've also had experience where I'm sat on the train and they cancel it and basically terminated early, and again I had to transfer to Transport for Wales. Today actually was a new experience where it was cancelled the night before, and originally when I checked, and actually I think even when I checked this morning, the journey planner was telling me again to go for Transport for Wales, so to take the Avanti West Coast crew and then change onto 2 separate Transport for Wales trains. Luckily, I did actually get in touch with Avanti West Coast on Twitter, and what they did for me was let me know that my original train from London Euston to Holyhead was actually departing from Crewe, and so all I needed to do was to get to Crewe and then I could get onto that train. So that wasn't actually super painful, and if anything it was kind of nice to get off the train, get a bit of fresh air and get back on the train, and Pumba was able to go to the bathroom and everything, so it actually worked out pretty well. It was a bit stressful last night, not gonna lie, and then having a big case like I do today, it's just more of like lugging that case on and off the train, which just it's not the best. it's not the most fun. I got very lucky with some random act of kindness from strangers just helping me on and off trains today, so definitely really appreciate that. I actually decided to treat myself to a first class train ticket as well, so I was sat in the first class cabin on both trains. I was given food. I went for like a bacon sandwich. I was given coffee. They came around with like other drinks and water and stuff, but also it was just nice to have the extra bit of space. And both times actually I didn't have someone sat beside me, so Pumba was able to take that seat. They do say you can have the dog on the seat as long as he's on a blanket, so I had a blanket out for him. So yeah, overall actually it was fine, but just be aware if you are trying to do this trip from London, the trains can be a bit sketchy. They have a lot of cancellations, unfortunately, and yeah, it doesn't seem like that's changed in the whole year that I've been doing this trip. We have set sail. You can probably still see a bit of land off in the distance. I kind of feel like that Irish lady on the news that was like, no unnecessary journeys. It's so windy. But yeah, like I said, we have set sail, and I'm actually quite happy to come out here and just get a little bit of fresh air. It's quite nice. The sun is kind of just starting to go down a little bit. It is only like 3 o'clock, but it's winter, so there you go. But I am going to go and have a little bit of a tour around the ship itself. I have been on this ship a couple of times in the past, and I fancy getting a little bit of food. Bit of a top tip from me, but if you are on any of the Stena Line ships, actually, the chips are amazing. They just do really good chips, so I might go and get some chips and bring them back to my cabin. I did ask last time I was on board, and they said it's fine to just get food from the restaurant, then bring it down to your cabin to have it there if that's what you prefer. But there is also a really good duty free on board, so we'll have a look at that. Now, they only open that for a certain amount of time. Oh, you can actually see a decent bit of land there on the right hand side. I didn't notice that. So we are still kind of coming out of the port area. You can see there's a lighthouse off in the distance. But over here on the left then, yeah, we are sailing away. No sail away party, unfortunately, on the Stena Line. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll have seen I was on a Disney cruise not so long ago. So yeah, very different sail away situation on board the Stena Line. Oh my gosh, I need to go inside. Now, I have left Pumba in the cabin. They do say, like, you know, you can leave the dogs in the cabin, but obviously just for a short amount of time. Pumba's actually so chill though, like he is just going to be sleeping in there, I imagine, when I get back inside. This outdoor area is actually quite different from the Estrid, which is the other ship that regularly sails this route between Holyhead and Dublin. Now, the Estrid's actually a newer ship, but this ship is a good bit older. It definitely feels older on the inside. The Estrid is a beautiful, bit more modern ship. But they don't tend to have as many pet cabins. It's definitely a more modern ship internally, and it's a much nicer navigation, I feel like, inside as well. A bit more open, a bit easier to get around. If you are traveling just by yourself, or if you are traveling with a dog in a kennel especially, I recommend going on the Estrid. The Estrid kennels are the ones that are on the passenger deck. Adventure kennels are down in the cargo, and you can't, I think maybe you can go visit your dog, but you need someone to come with you, like a member of staff, whereas on the Estrid you can just go as you please, and they have a key code, like number, that you can put in to just get your dog. So that announcement was actually the duty free opening up. I thought it was a good bit later, like in the trip, that they opened it up, but I think it is open now. So let's go have a little look. All right. Oh, looks like we have some extra sales on here. I always like to get some of the ritual stuff when I come here because it's always a really good price. A scrub paste, and then their face cream. I actually quite like their face cream. Got some biotherm creams as well. They're really good prices, actually. You can see they've got a Clarins night cream there as well, £26, down from 53. That's also really good. Wireless charging pad, £13.50. What is this? Oh, a Bluetooth speaker, and then just an audio cable. So I think otherwise it's very similar to like airport duty free in terms of the prices, just a slight discount on the high street prices. They've got some more sale bits over here at 50% off. It's like Yankee candles as well, 50% off. That's pretty good, and I bet these kind of things are doing well as well, with it being close to Christmas and people just getting some last minute bits. Some chocolates. Now, not to like play into the stereotype, but the alcohol section is the busiest. But we do have some Butler's chocolate. I love Butler's chocolate. It is an Irish company. If you ever go to Butler's, get their hot chocolate. It's amazing. It's probably my favourite hot chocolate ever. We shall join the masses and check out the alcohol. I feel like my family were supposed to tell me to get some bits, and they haven't, so I might need to drop them a text actually and see if they want that one. But the prices are class, like 2 for £25 of those large Tanqueray. I never know how to pronounce that brand, but it's a London gin. £10 for that litre of vodka. I mean, I don't actually know the brand name, but still, a litre of vodka for £10. So this is actually the champagne that they have on British Airways, this blue one, I'm pretty sure, and it's really nice. I actually quite like it. So it is £26 for that. You can get Moet for £33. Again, that feels quite cheap. compared to the high street prices. Then we've got our whiskies over here, of course, some Jameson, the very popular. I don't know if they have any Bushmills. I don't see Bushmills actually. That's my favourite Irish whiskey. That's a shame. Yeah, I don't see any Bushmills. But they do have Baileys. There's a litre bottle of Baileys. £17 though. I'm not sure if that's a great price for Baileys. Although that's probably going off British prices, like in the UK, because Irish alcohol prices are a lot higher. So I'm on deck 7 right now. You can see they've actually got it nicely decked out for Christmas and stuff. But also on deck 7 is where they have the recline lounge, which is essentially just a lounge full of recliners, literally what it says. And they also have guest services over here on the right. And actually back there, I think there's another lounge. There is a trucker's lounge back here then, as well as toilets. Just coming back right now, so past the duty free, we have more toilets. And I think we are pretty much done for what's on deck 7. Let's have a little look. There is a sort of guide here. Yeah, so the restaurant and bar are upstairs. So is the Stena Plus lounge. And yeah, we've already explored duty free. So yeah, let's head upstairs. Now that outdoor bit I was on was also deck 7, I think. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was deck 8. Never mind. But yeah, look, they've got some cute little Christmas touches throughout the ship, which is really cool. So in here at the back there is like a teen play area. There's an arcade as well. And then out this way, I think is the lounge. I think that might be the lounge in there. Yeah, so the Stena Plus lounge. It's actually a decent price, like if you want your alcohol and stuff included. Oh, and they've got a little fire going. They don't have one of those in the Estrad one, not that I recall anyway. I've actually not been to this lounge. I've only been to the one on the Estrad. But usually it was maybe like 20 quid or something. And I think you can buy it on board. Now, I'm not sure if this terminal right here is working, but I know they normally have screens and stuff outside, or you just pop inside the desk to purchase it. But they usually have like really good views and stuff from inside the lounge, like good seating areas. And like I say, if you're going to have a few drinks, it kind of makes it worthwhile. But we're actually going to head now to restaurant and bars. Now it is saying down. So I guess there was the bar that was by the guest services that was closed. Taste restaurant here though, that is the main restaurant on board. Oh, and we've got like the gaming room in here. There's a few different games and stuff. But I'm gonna head over, see if I can get my chips. I do have a feeling in the lounge, if you want hot food, you did have to order like right away. But I'm not sure about here. I assume they keep serving the food for a little while. So they have got a full menu here, like beef burgers, beef sirloin, stroganoff. Price is around like 14 to 17 pounds. And they've also got a pulled pork sandwich for 7 pounds there. Honey and soy glazed chicken leg. And then they've also just got like sandwiches, a couple of snacks and drinks. I am back in the cabin now with my chips and probably way too much sauce, but I always find I run out of sauce. And yes, I am, what would you call it, a cross dipper? I like to mix ketchup and mayo. This tub is actually a mix. These are 2 mayos and ketchup because the ratio is definitely more mayo to ketchup, but I love that combination. And I've got Made in Chelsea on in the background. Now, I actually found out about the really nice chips on this ferry because I was with I wasn't with, but I met 2 other women that were traveling with their dogs, and we were actually in the lounge together in the Stena Estrad, and they were like, we're obviously getting the chips, right? And I was like, oh, I guess, yeah, I'll have some chips. And then they were so surprised that I don't get the chips every time on the ferry because apparently it's a known thing that the chips on the ferry are very good. We've got about half an hour left now, and actually probably less than that because most times when I travel they do get in a little bit earlier. Now the passengers are last off, so they will offload all of the trucks and cars and stuff, and then they'll take the passengers back down to where the bus dropped us off on the way in. There'll be a bus there and we'll head over to the terminal. That's also where I'll get my bag back as well, which is perfect because then I just have to grab my bag and I'll pop outside. I don't actually know who's collecting me, but I think one member of my family is going to be outside to get me, so I'll just have to get my case out there. Definitely the case on the dog is a challenge. It's been fine like from the ferry terminal to here, but yeah, I feel like with the trains and everything, it was a bit difficult. But I think I'm gonna make myself a little cup of tea. I have just been chilling here. I've got my laptop, I've been working away. I paid for the premium Wi-Fi, which is only £4, which is quite nice. I mean, I don't know if you've traveled on a flight and paid for the Wi-Fi, like anyway, decent Wi-Fi. It's like 15 quid, I think, at least with British Airways when I've traveled. And this is £4 and that's up to 8 hours. So it doesn't matter if your sailing is a bit longer. You can pay £2 just for like okay Wi-Fi, £4 for premium, and then you actually get for free a very basic Wi-Fi that you'll still be able to get text messages and things through on, but definitely not enough, I don't feel like, to work and to be able to send emails and things. But I'm gonna, like I say, just pop over, make a little cup of tea. I did actually boil the kettle. Pumba has been so chill. He has just been sleeping under his blanket. He's so rested when he's in these cabins, and so that's why for me the pet cabin is just a must now on every trip. And actually, when I looked to book the pet cabin for coming home for Christmas, which is obviously what this trip is, I booked it around the 28th of September, and the pet cabins were booked out for the whole week before Christmas, and the weekend, like the 2 weekends before Christmas and the whole week before Christmas. And I think this was actually one of the earliest ones that I could get that wasn't one of the late night ferries, and I don't like to travel on the late night ferries. Every time I've had a cabin, I've really enjoyed this journey. And to be fair, when I was using the lounge and stuff, it's always been pretty smooth as well. But it's definitely just an extra layer of comfort having the cabin. I paid £70 for the cabin. That was on top of £40 for the ferry itself. No extra charge then for Pumba. I guess the premium that you pay is that a pet cabin is more expensive than a regular cabin. In my opinion, it's just totally worth it for the extra relaxation. Obviously, you get a few little bits like your tea, your coffee, your biscuits, your extra bit of water. They probably add up to about 10 quid maybe, but like for me, it's still definitely worth it. And they're obviously super popular if they're booking out as well. It was the same for after Christmas. The ferries were getting booked up really quick. But anyway, I'm going to go make a cup of tea. And I think this is a brand new camera that I'm filming on right now. I think this is actually going to follow me, so we'll give that a go. What happened there? Subject lost. Take 2 with the camera there. Not sure what happened. Let's see if it keeps me. I think actually it's because I turned my back and walked away. It's a face detection software, so I'm guessing it didn't detect the back of my head. So maybe if I walk backwards, you can come with me to make a cup of tea. I think that worked. Oh, into the bathroom door. Pumba. Pumba is giving me the strangest look. He's like, what are you doing?
Arriving into the port of Dublin in approximately 30 minutes time. If you could kindly prepare to vacate your cabins. Thank you.
So they do make an announcement like that, as you heard, 30 minutes before you get in, which is nice because then you don't kind of get surprised with having to get ready. Now, obviously, there may be some people that have a cabin and are not foot passengers. They might have come in their vehicles and then come up to the cabin. So they'll all vacate first. I just kind of hang out here. Sometimes I'll leave and go to the communal area because then I can get into like the first wave of people going down for the bus. But you do have the option of just chilling in your cabin until they call the passengers. So I'm gonna back out so the face tracking stays on me, and then I can make some tea. So I did actually just boil the kettle, so it should be nice and hot. It does take a little bit to boil actually. You know, it's obviously not super powerful. But I've got some biscuits to choose from here. I've got salted caramel and chocolate, stem ginger and dark chocolate, and another stem ginger and dark chocolate. I think I'm going to go for the ginger because I do love a ginger biscuit in my tea. Now it is Tetley original tea. Obviously you can bring your own tea bags if you have got a strong preference. I'm not super fussy with tea. I'd say my favorite is Barry's because I am of course an Irish lady, but I do like Yorkshire tea as well. What's your favorite tea? I think I'm a little bit delirious. I had honestly about like a 15-minute nap. Do you ever wake up from a nap and then you feel delirious? Like I feel like I only slept 15 minutes last night. Ooh, another announcement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking. We've now just passed between the two breakwaters that mark our arrival into the port of Dublin, and we're making our way up the River Liffey. Just a short distance to go to a berth now, and I do hope you'll be alongside ready for disembarkation very short. I ask for all passengers, and especially the foot passengers, to please remain in the accommodation areas on the recall to the vehicle decks, as access to the vehicle decks will remain locked until the vessel is almost in her final position alongside. And we all look forward to seeing you on board a Stena adventure again in the very near future, or on board one of our other company vessels on the Irish Sea. Finally now, it only remains for me to wish you all a safe and pleasant onward journey.
Why on earth would I try to taste my tea as soon as it's brewed? It's so hot. That was quite a quick turnaround. Like I said, I think they actually called the half hour at 5:30. We're due in at 6, but actually I think we're going to dock before that. You heard the captain there, hopefully, just saying that we are coming down the River Liffey, which is always the nicest part of the journey. This is the smoothest part. So sometimes I've been lulled into a false sense of security when we leave Dublin port, and I'm like, oh, this is a really smooth sailing. And then you break out from the river, like the estuary, out into the sea, and you're like, oh, no, never mind. Tis a bit of a rambly vlog. Ah! I made my biscuit too soggy. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I got it on my laptop. I got it on my bag. That's actually a really nice biscuit. I don't think I've ever had a chocolatey ginger biscuit. That is really nice. These are Bronte. Great British biscuit bakers since 1985. And I've never seen these in store. I'm just going to get myself organized now so that I'm ready to depart. Usually shortly after they announce the cars and stuff can leave, I will head out to the communal passenger deck. Just getting ready to disembark now. I forgot to actually let you know that there were puppy pads as well in the room, which is really helpful. Okay. Are we ready?
Hello.
Hello! Ah! Oh my god, for a conehead was. Hi, Woody! Hi! Woody! It's me! Hi, Mom. Ah! Hi, Woody. Hi, I know. Come here. Let's have a moment. Let's have a moment. Oh, Pumba. Jeez. Jeez, Pumba. Hey, Woody, hold on now. I'm trying to get as hard as up. You're mesmerized.
Where are you? Some food? Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. Sit down, boys. Hey, sit down. Come on. Come on.
No, Buzz is done. First done. Oh. I'm getting myself into bed, ready for a decent sleep after what was quite a long travel day. So from door to door, when I left my flat in London, it was about 12 and a half hours until I got here. Now, I had a bit of a journey, first of all, to get from my flat to Euston before obviously starting the journey from there out to Holyhead and then across on the ferry. But actually, I have to say, end to end, this was one of the smoother journeys for me. We had a nice smooth sailing, and even with the cancelled train, doing the one change and staying on the Avanti Coast train was actually really nice. And like I said, it was just quite an enjoyable journey overall this time. If you have any questions for me on the rail and sail experience, do just leave them in the comment section down below. More than happy to help. You'll have seen the clips of the dogs getting their food. It is so funny because Pumba is such a fussy little eater, but when he comes here and he becomes part of the little pack, They all get very excited for their food and then they just eat it so quickly. And it's just so funny that right away, I mean, he's only in the house 15 minutes and he has already completely changed his behavior to blend in with his cousins in their little pack, and he is demanding his food. And yeah, it's just so funny. It's such an instant change now. He's been here a few times and he just settles in right away. I'm heading into the office tomorrow and I have a work night out, but then I'm going to be staying in a hotel in the city centre. And the next day, I will take you around to some of my favourite spots at this time of the year. So tune in for the next one, and I will see you all then. Hope you're doing very well, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.